Okay, shouldn't do that. Well, pretty easy anyways. Oh wait, you actually see it? I didn't see that last time because I didn't use these units. Wait, that's actually dope. We have a beginner account, which is fairly beginner, 27 days in. We want to clear this new dungeon. You can choose what kind of boss you have, like, or what kind of buffs you get all the time. And you can actually use one of those new units. But what if I actually go for all of those new units, plus some of my own, and focus all of the buffs, because you get buffs at the end of the stage, which you can choose either to go for overall all units or specifically for the assassin units. What if I go specifically for the assassin units? Can I clear the whole thing on a pretty much beginner account that way? We shall see. I don't know yet. That thing does a good amount of damage. You can also choose to just use your own units, which is easier in most cases for most people that are further in the game. But so far I've seen these Assassin's Creed units actually do pretty well. But it does depend on who you choose for getting the buffs from. Uh-oh. I'm getting spooned. Wait, my units are actually dying here on this stage, pressing it on auto. They used the wrong skills. Don't die, little one. Yeah, so maybe you don't want to auto this like all the way down if you're like somewhat of a newer player. Like if you're a veteran player, you're playing this for many years, like you could probably auto all the way, at least hard. Hell might be somewhat more difficult. But yeah, here are those buffs, which you can say like, okay, do I want to go for attack speed? I guess I go just straight up everything for like Brotherhood stuff. Like this one is technically nice, but let's go for all the way this. And you want to aim for as many elite stages rather than normal stage, because elite stages, they do have like a boss which you have to kill, but it is not that hard and you get better buffs if I'm not mistaken. You can also leave the stage if you lose a unit, that way it doesn't count. Makes sense actually, because they check all the way at the end, like it doesn't know what died in the middle of the stage. It should actually that if you leave that you lose all your units, but then again that's kind of harsh as well. Life Drain, that is pretty OP. That is actually pretty OP. The thing is, there's no interaction between the game and the server while you're in a match, except for RTA. What team you used on your main, you don't want to know. My team on my main was very free to play, and I guess that says enough. Yeah, you can definitely auto this on the main account, not on the alt. Or maybe I could still auto these stages, but it would be risky, I could lose a unit. Okay, that unit hits. Does Wind Ivor work? I think it needs 3-turn cooldown. Ooh, so attack speed on 30 is a lot though. But Shadow Dagger is also good. But I think this would be better. Well, it's per assassin. So this can go up to all the way like 120. That is a lot though. Wait, this is the wrong element for that thing. Well, I guess it's fine. Rip, no critter. I shouldn't do that. Well, pretty easy. Oh wait, you actually see it? I didn't see that last time because I didn't use these units. Wait, that's actually dope. That is actually dope. More Brotherhood power. Okay, so now we can get another one. Which one is best? This one is best for soloing stuff. This one does less damage. I guess we go for this one. So best route would be right, left, left, right. Yep, for sure. So who do we take out? I guess we take out Seth. So these things technically should have quite some power already, because I had 2 boosts for attack up for these things. I do have the life drain though. That thing stacks a lot of attack bar. That unit is actually pretty busted, I think. Okay, accuracy, I don't really think it's needed. That is pretty nice. Use HP, no, I think we go for a warrior elixir. Wait, if they would die, I also don't get them back, right? Like the assassin ones? I don't know. I do not know if I own Edge of Assassin. I should say, well, just adding more defense is not bad. Wait, that was the best route, right? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's yeah, I can go from this to this, yes. Yeah, I think with future balance patches, we definitely will get, like, buffs for those units at some point. The base speed is 118, but do you need 118 base if you are already fast? That's the part I don't know. I still don't have Sign of the Assassin. Which freaking skill is Sign of the Assassin, though? Getting good buffs when I have that skill. I guess I'll just go for this for safety, because otherwise, I'm not sure if I get the other skill. Okay, let's see if this final boss is doable on hard this way. Yes, it will be. He gets attack bar as well. Yeet a spear up his ass. Fuck, we didn't crit that one. Okay, that does absolutely no damage. Can we armor break the Zok? Okay, I guess this thing has quite some resistance. Because I'm not landing jack shit. The thing is with procs, this thing actually does counter procs. Because every proc it still takes extra attack power. It's kind of like a half Amduat. Like in all honesty, it's just a half Amduat. But then Amduat that also counts on your turns. Wait, we missed crit again. Like, if you think about it that way, does that make the unit OP or not? I think if you think about it that way, it's actually pretty... not that interesting. That's a lot of dots. Because Amduat in the end is also not that great of a unit. Would have been cool if the other unit would have killed her right now. Because now we only see the animation of this one. I guess they all have a kill animation on the boss. Steals beneficial, doesn't do much. Silence, don't care. Let's go with this. Okay, so I guess I'll go for Seiishizo. It's also not bad to have this set in there. And since I can't dot the boss anyways, this thing has less value. Okay, so best path is... Well, I only have 3 elites. Well, this is a really bad map, actually. Just 3 elites. I guess we go for the attack power. Fire or water Ezio better? I think fire, but I'm not sure yet. But so far, even on this account, it seems pretty easy to clear all of it. Seems like someone pulled Han in your chat. Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, that's if you get a ninja, it's the only option. I think about water Eivor, grants effect pass. I'm not too sure like how good that is. Like the S1, S2 seems somewhat lackluster, so the unit is mainly there for its passive. And it might be pretty good on that passive, but is it good enough on that passive though? That part I'm not sure enough. I can't look at that skill, man. I can't look at that skill. Like the threat state, man, I can't look at it without laughing. It's impossible. The AI for the threat state, I have also no clue like what it would focus on and stuff. What are your thoughts on Dark Ezio? He seems pretty weird. Because the extra hit, like how much does it actually add? And then not being counted on that extra hit. I don't know. Also, Collab so far, I feel like the units are very cool. But the kits of some of the units are too much all over the place and pretty weird for most of them, actually. Like, so far, I think there's... Is there any I would say, like, yo, this is super OP? I'm not sure. I feel like the light and the dark Eivor are really strong. I think those are probably the best potential to be OP for stuff. I guess Dark Eivor. But I haven't heard anyone having Dark Eivor yet. At least not from the chat here. Why Cassandra might be good? She might be decent too. But I think she needs something slightly more to become actually good. It does strip all buffs. That part is nice though. Because you have a lot of strips these days that just strip one thing or whatever. At least this strips everything. My friend better not die because that's literally the only healer I have. Well, not entirely true, but close and true. Uh-oh. Yep. Saved by its passive. Saved by that passive. That's why the Fire Cassandra might be good, yeah. Saved by that passive. Without the passive, she'd be dead. Really feel like fucked over Jaeger with Eivor. Kind of, but then again, how much damage does Eivor do in comparison to Jaeger? Jaeger S2 does a lot of damage. Like, let's say they would give that passive of the 10% attack bar to Jaeger. Jaeger would be OP as fuck. Because Jaeger would be one-shotting things every, like, few turns of other people. And I'm not sure how much damage Eivor can dish out yet. But that might be a lot as well. Like, if Eivor does a shit ton of damage, can actually one-shot things at some point. I don't know. It does have Death Break on the S1, that is true, but... Then again, like, you need S1 Death Break on relatively low odds in combination to actually kill something. Can you do the dungeon if you feel? Yeah, you can do it, but you cannot use the same units anymore. Can you check Discord? My Lucian did 52k. card. Yeah, I guess that is possible. I guess it is possible to boost your crit damage that much that you do so much damage at some point. But then again, it's the same as saying like, okay, my Lulu did like 150k damage in Rift Beast. Like, yeah, it's possible. It's not that interesting. Doesn't matter which way you go in dungeon. It does matter. You want to go for as many elite stages as possible, because you get better buffs in that one. My units died, I can still use it there. Oh, really? Well, if you die and you just, like, leave the dungeon, apparently, it doesn't count as a loss, which is kind of stupid. Oh, wait, I should actually play this one on manual, I think. Thank you all for derping, that helps me out a lot. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to clear the boss, but I think it should be okay. These units all do so much damage at some point just from having like all of the buffs. But it does kind of matter like which buffs you have. Wait, they actually want to have immunity up against those units, I guess. I didn't get the cooltime reduction on this, on my alt. Like, the cooltime reduction is super OP. Like, I think that's literally one of the most OP things you can get here. So it does really changes big time. Well, that's the same thing in Chronicles. In Chronicles, you also have this stage, but then it's a lot more difficult than this. This is, like, very easy auto-bone, that kind of stuff. Whereas that's content, like, only a few of the top people cleared it, like, the whole thing, the first one. Like, I think less than 10 people cleared it, like, in the first rotation. Maybe even less. No, probably 10 is, like, a decent number that would have cleared it. Nia uses cooldown Nef double A, yeah? Yeah, I had the cooldown thing and then I used Lima, Nefty's Amber, and Dark Monkey or Sienna. So yeah, that was pretty busted as well. That fucking distraction skill, man, I can't. The only sad thing about this whole collab is that you already know the moment they're going to make a skin of this, you cannot put these units that you get right now on the skin. So it's cool in one way, but in the other way is like you're going to miss out on that skin, like 100% sure. Which is kind of like, yeah, that sucks, I guess. Collab skins when? Yeah, they're never going to do collab skins because you can't. Like, you can't upgrade a skin of something that already has, like, the skin of the game, right? Which bag are you going first? In the end, you can get every bag, so it doesn't really matter what you go first. You can claim them all. But I did the 10. The 10 was pretty good value. I think the 8 on the top of my head was pretty good value. The 9, if you need Devilmons, is good value. And then, well, in general, what I aim for is just anything but scrolls. Like, I don't really care about scrolls too much. So Reaps is nice. Well, of course, the new scroll is nice, but all of the other things is not that nice. No, China actually has the same as us. China also has the collab. Apparently, this IP was not a problem in China. Cookies were a problem, but assassins weren't. It depends on, like, the companies. Apparently, someone just mentioned that Ubisoft, which is the maker of this game, has a lot of companies in China or some shit. Or has, like, I don't know what, but it was not an issue for China to have this collab, apparently. Tencent owns Ubisoft. Okay, then I know enough. Tencent is like the... How do you say it? Tencent is like Apple, Google, Microsoft, all in one in China, more or less. Tencent also owns Riot Games. Okay, let's see if this is clearable. Maybe not an auto though. Yeet. Armor break him. Not me. Armor break him. Nice. I guess since you're fire and you have the passive of not dying, might as well put the skill on you. The AoE armor break. I do not like those. They do some damage. Nice Pokerino. Well, ignore defense doesn't do as much if I'm already armor broken. No, my attack buff just got stripped. That's too bad. Well, in the end, we did show a count 27 days. Can pretty easy clear this. Just go for all of the buffs of the new units. And just use the new units. And then it's pretty easy to clear this on Hell. So, anyone should be able to clear this on Hell. Because I literally just used a friend that was... Wait, let me show you my friend. I use this friend. It's... You get these runes like throughout the first few weeks in the game anyways. So yeah, that's pretty cool.